How do you want to be remembered? Well, the Egyptian pharaohs believed that to be forgotten was to be cast adrift into oblivion. My Auntie Isabel believed that we all come back as flowers. I believe you reap what you sow. But this story isn't about pharaohs. Or Auntie Isabel. It's not even about me. It's about Becca. Now, who is Becca, I hear you ask? Becca is a bully. Not in a mean girls sort of way, no Tina Fey or Regina George, no, that wasn't what she did, no. She's too clever for that. No burn book, just spurned looks and private jokes, affectionate pokes, all meant in jest. Becca knew how to do it best. You see, a bully can take the words in your head and make them bigger. They figure out your Achilles heel and steal your light, even when you know it wasn't right. The bully can cover insults with laughter and after say it's just a joke, but the sentiment stays stuck in your throat so that the words you keep repeating to yourself are the ones the bully has put there. Even if those words are wrong, even if it was a joke all along. Bing is Becca. What does Helen and Sex in the City have in common? It started off great, but it hasn't aged well. A flurry of laughing emojis. Cheryl puts a cringe emoji to show solidarity, but no one tells her to stop. Oscar Wilde once said that there is only one thing in the world worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about at all. Well, Oscar clearly never had the pleasure of being in a group chat with Becca. Our group chat, Cocktails and Romance Fails, comprised Becca, Tina, Cheryl and me. We'd been brought together by a shared love of Sex and the City and the agreement that it was a pity Samantha left the franchise, but no one was surprised. Becky had aggrandised ideas that she was of course Carrie and then cast us all as the other characters. Tina was Miranda, bossy but harassed, sharing real-time breakdowns in the group chat. Cheryl was Charlotte, the klutz, and me, I'm cast as Stanford. We all play our roles well. The first thing she ever said to me was, "I love the way you make chipped nails look intentional." She made me laugh. She also made me get my nails done. I often wonder how my life would have turned out if I'd never met Becca. A sliding doors moment might have thrown me on a different path. If that day I had chosen Subway and not Costa, where would I be now? I often wonder what that coffee actually cost me. That chat in the queue, that shared joke about the new movie, and then, just like that, we were friends. She was wearing low-rise jeans and was all curly hair and didn't seem to care that she was holding up the line with her taking time choosing her caramel latte. I loved the way she waved her Camel lights and talked about taking flights to Paris or Rome. I was all student loans, overdraft debt and smelt of wet washing machine. I couldn't believe she wanted to be friends with me. 5 years later, and we're still friends. Her life has moved on. She has an Insta life, the trad wife aesthetic without the pathetic undertones, a husband that doesn't moan, and kids that manage to look clean most of the time. My day job is in a care home, helping the elderly feel less alone, doing the jobs that society like to ignore. But in my evenings, I am a florist. I am a novice, but I love it. Flowers remind me of my auntie. Auntie Isabel. She was very sentimental and would press flowers from every wedding she went to. She never married herself. Her sisters would joke that she was left on the shelf, but Isabel always said that a flower unpicked always lasts longer. Isabel outlived all of her married counterparts. A fact I impart upon Becca after she tells me yet again how it's odd that I'm still a single Pringle. Becky holds her married life up like a trophy from a race I haven't even started. A race I'm not sure I even wanted. The group chat is a daily reminder of the milestones that I'm miles away from. My phone pings again, interrupting my zen, showing me yet another example of the happy life I am missing. One picture of chaotic dinner time with a tagline, "Dinner at the Madhouse." I stare at my meal for one and long for something less tragic to share, so I share my flowers. A piece that took me hours to create, but Becca's response is, "It's great you've got a hobby, but you know flowers won't replace a hobby, and you can't kiss a cactus goodnight." At work, I talk to the old ladies, and they tell me of their lives, the many versions of themselves that they have been, the doctors and the beauty queens, mothers and wives and lovers and brides, and every new version of themselves they blossom new. Not told through the lens of success, but just wanting to tell the best versions of themselves, no milestones, but paths taken alone, each journey grown into something new. I have so many people to blossom into, so many stories to live. It is a Tuesday when I decide to exit the group chat after a rather aggressive thread about which celebrity was next to be dead. I felt information fatigue, so I go to read a book that I found in a little nook at work. I opened a page on a poem called The Door, and what falls out onto the floor was a pressed flower. And I hold the flower as I read. One day, you'll see that you've been knocking on a door without a house. You've been waiting, shivering, yelling words of daring and hope. Auntie Isabel lived a long life full of love, full of flowers, full of daring and hope. And she once wrote me a note that said, "Live like no one is watching." And so I shall. Helen has left the group chat. And with that, it was gone. That version of me was no longer a problem, cut adrift into oblivion. So I decide to water the flowers that I want to bloom. Because maybe we do come back as flowers, or seeds blowing on the wind, a whisper on the air, but who cares? Who was Becca? Nobody will remember.